The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Well, good Thursday morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee Time with Blind United. It's me and Carol in here again today by ourselves. So, good morning, Carol.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Let me get this interest group stuff out the way. We got one interest group for this evening, and that is the art of podcasting with George Zavala, our resident comedian. He does get serious sometimes. He just likes to have fun, but he's just been doing a lot of podcasting, for over a decade now. So he knows quite a bit about this stuff. So if this is something you're interested in doing, or just want to understand how all of that works, whatever the case may be, join us tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Of course, that's 6 in Mountain Time where he's at, and for Carol, that would be 7 her time. So anyway, like I said, if that's something you're interested in, come on out, drop in, hang out with us, and we'd enjoy having you in there with us. So, but anyway, other than that, everything is good with you, Carol? You good?
Everything's good on this end. Just trying to stay cool. We've been getting some extremely hot weather, but it's about that time, I guess. Supposed to be May showers, but looks like we're getting summertime heat instead right now.
I don't know. We're going up and down over here. So one day is 100 degrees, the next day is 70 degrees or 60 degrees, and then it's back up to 80. And wow, it's just all over the place out here. So
that's crazy. You can't
but
say
ain't
that
nothing
global
wrong.
warming going on for sure.
Oh, no. Ain't nothing wrong. It's just, this normal stuff, right?
All right.
So anyway, I've been, we have been, expressing our right to voice our opinion pretty much most of the week. So anyway, I just wanted to go in a little bit different direction today and, not get all riled up behind all the political boo-boo stuff. So anyway, this one is a pretty interesting article. Arm wrestling, something that's been around for a long time, and now it's possibly on its way to being an Olympic sport. So check this out, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Today on Coffee Time, arm wrestling from ancient rivalries to Olympic dreams. Today on Coffee Time, we're putting our muscle into a global story of strength and ambition, arm wrestling. For centuries, people have settled scores and tested willpower across tables and taverns. But this age-old contest is now flexing its muscles on the world stage, and Africa is leading the charge to get arm wrestling into the Olympics. The roots of arm wrestling stretch back more than 2,000 years. Historians trace early forms of the sport to ancient Egypt, where tomb art from 2000 BC shows men clasping hands in familiar positions. Similar traditions took hold in feudal Japan, Spain, and Cuba, where local communities turned the showdown of strength into a social ritual. While the moves were simple, the pride behind each match ran deep. In the modern era, arm wrestling began to organize as a sport. In 1952, journalist Bill Soberanes helped launch the first formal tournament in Petaluma, California. That led to the World Wrist Wrestling Championship by 1962. Television picked it up, and the world began to notice. Soon, arm wrestling federations formed in Europe and Asia, giving the sport international credibility. Fast forward to 2025. At the African Games in Accra, Ghana, arm wrestling made its debut. With 28 gold medals awarded, athletes from across the continent proved they had more than just grit. They had talent, discipline, and Olympic-level potential. Organizers from multiple African nations are now petitioning the International Olympic Committee to recognize the sport officially. But is arm wrestling ready for the Olympics? Advocates point to its global reach, gender inclusivity, and low cost of participation. Critics argue that it lacks the widespread infrastructure needed for Olympic governance. Still, few deny the spectacle and raw human drama of two competitors locked in a battle of wills. So what do you think? Should this ancient showdown be added to the world's biggest sporting stage? Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Yeah, why not? You know what I'm saying? I mean, arm wrestling, like you say, has been around for over 2,000 years. I mean, it's something that, we did as a kid, just, trying to exert our muscle over other folks, other, of our friends and whatever, right? But if you pay attention to the history, I mean, like they say, man, arm wrestling has been used to resolve conflicts, which, man, that'd be great. I mean, imagine taking Putin and Zelensky and just let them do an arm wrestling thing, right? I mean, we wouldn't have all these dead folks. We wouldn't have all this money wasted on military armory and all this other kind of stuff. We wouldn't have all these historical buildings and stuff just basically being destroyed due to war, right? I mean, a lot of this stuff could be settled real easily, but that being said, I mean, again, it's, is it as wide known as football? Hell no. But again, I mean, was it Petaluma, California? I've never heard of it, and I'm native California. I don't even know where California is. So what does that mean, right? But again, it is a worldwide recognized sport. As far as infrastructure is concerned, I mean, what kind of infrastructure does the Olympics need? I mean, okay, so you need a few more rooms for people to stay in, right? I don't know, maybe a half a dozen arm wrestling tables at the most. I don't know. I mean, all you really need is one, but okay. And then you need judges. That's all it is. I don't know. I don't understand what they're saying about the infrastructure. But again, this is something that it doesn't take a whole lot of money for people to become involved with, right? It's just a matter of doing, some training and working up the yoke on at least that one arm. I mean, but again, I mean, it's a nice, friendly, competitive way to, exert your skill. You know what I'm saying? Because whether it's not just about strength, it is also a skill involved in it. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about it other than doing it, oh, fool, well, let's arm wrestle over it, so that's all I know on it. But I don't know. That's your folks every day. They show coming late every day now. But anyway, I was saying that like I said, it's not that big of an issue. I mean, again, like I said, I lost all my train of thought. But anyway, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about it, but in competitive arm wrestling, I mean, I do know. You guys remember that movie that Stallone did? It was called Over the Top. You remember that movie, Carol?
I don't think I do. I may have seen it because I was a Sylvester Stallone fan. So remind me of how it went.
Well, he was basically a truck driver. And he was divorced, had a son, whatever, right? But he was also a competitive arm wrestler, and he literally had an arm device set up in his truck to where while he was riding down the highway driving his truck, he could use his right arm to practice arm wrestling. This arm was in there and it had, resistance to get it
Right,
against it.
right.
So he was constantly working on the strength in that one arm while he was driving truck.
Oh,
And then
wow.
he made his way to Vegas, and they were having some big time arm wrestling competition going on there. And
Oh, I don't remember that one. Hmm.
yeah, it's called Over the Top. It's actually a really, really good movie.
Okay.
It's a Stallone movie. So he's always got his little version of drama. So, but anyway, yeah. I mean,
Of
arm
course.
wrestling. What's wrong with it? I mean, everybody can compete in it. Men, women, kids, whatever. It doesn't matter. We can, again, you can do all different. What we want to call heavyweight, lightweight, middleweight, whatever. You can set up all that kind of stuff. That's not a big issue. We definitely don't want somebody that can bench press 500 pounds going against somebody that can only do 100 pounds, right?
Right.
I mean, I don't see the issues. Let them do their thing in the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got, Carol.
I mean, I remember as a kid, arm wrestling, for fun, just all of those things, tetherball, tug of war. But I remember, like you say, someone who can bench press 500 pounds compared to someone with 100 pounds. I saw someone actually break someone's arm wrestling. Instead of them just as it gets closer to the table, they did not relent. And of course, you hear this pop, pop, so it's like, ooh, but back then it was just fun. So if that's an easier way to solve conflict, no one other than a bone possibly could be hurt. And you don't have to worry about someone dying behind it. Let's do it. And if they're trying to make it out an Olympic sport, everybody, even visually impaired or people in wheelchairs or just the disabled community, all can, it wouldn't be just separated with Special Olympics compared to regular Olympics. Anyone could compete. So I'm all for it. Let's do it. Bring something fun back that actually is competitive and where everybody can compete.
Well, competitive and inclusive on that, since you
Very
bring up
inclusive.
that
Yes.
note, so anyway, right quick, Katie Data says good morning, and Tisha says good morning. Hey.
Hey.
So anyway, good morning, ladies. But again, I mean, arm wrestling, come on, man. I mean, it's something that is really, 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 accessible. Again, I mean, like you said, blind folks can take place in this. I mean,
Yes.
unless you got a senior division, I probably wouldn't get involved. But you know,
Flex
I
that
mean,
muscle. Come on, flex that muscle.
but again, it don't matter as long as I can walk up there and put my arm in the position and
Right.
and do my thing. It don't matter whether I can see or not. You know what I'm
That's right.
saying? So again, it's like you said, people can blind folks, deaf folks. I mean, wheelchair. I mean, I don't know. That might be a little bit because it's a standing table that they
Okay.
work from.
Gotcha.
It's not like they sitting at a table doing it. They're standing at a
I
table
gotcha.
doing it.
Okay.
So, but I mean, and that might. But again, what's to stop you from putting a ramp where that wheelchair can roll up to the right level?
And be
You
a little
know,
higher. That's right.
and be a little bit higher. So again, it just opens up the door for so many different things. I mean, again, I don't follow the sport, so I'm not an expert on it. But I mean, you don't never hear about anybody getting injured. I mean, maybe they might strain a muscle. Again, I've never heard of anybody breaking a bone. Uh,
Right.
you know, I mean, I'm not going to say it hasn't happened. I'm just saying I've never heard of it. I mean, I would think it would take two incredibly strong people in
Right.
order to snap somebody's forearm or
And then,
wrist.
like I said, I don't know it might have been an issue with the child. Sometimes you have injuries when you're small or different things that you haven't had diagnosed. So they might have had brittle bones or anything. I just remember experiencing it. and it was horrific. But like you say, as an adult, I'm sure that they're probably flexing their muscle and making sure they got plenty of calcium, and the bone has to withstand pressure. So,
well, I mean, again, of course, if you've got one of those, rare diseases where your bones are brittle or something like that, of course, this is not necessarily a sport for you,
true, true. I
but
was just basically saying that may have been the issue with the child.
right,
I'm a
right,
child
right.
myself, so I don't know what had happened. I just knew that the kid broke their arm. So
It could have been bad form, not, doing it in a proper manner. Maybe,
true.
there's a whole lot of things go into it. But
That's
when we
true.
talk about doing this, on a professional level,
Right.
and even though Olympics is not a professional sport, I mean, they're not being paid to be there, but they operate on a pro level.
True. That is true.
I mean,
They
again,
trained for it for years. So
right, right, right. Well, I mean, again, but there's always loopholes. I mean, and again, I mean, when I was growing up, Olympics was all about, supposed to have been, they say amateur sports simply because, nobody was getting paid, right? But
mm-hmm.
again, these Olympic athletes were training sometimes all their life to
That's
do this
true.
stuff,
That's true.
So, and then, with the addition of basketball, and then we got into okay, now the dream team. Well, now we got all pro athletes
Yeah.
playing
All
in the
professionals.
Olympics,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
at least from America, and I'm pretty sure in the European countries and stuff as well, you
Right.
know, they were doing it because they do have the European basketball leagues,
That's true.
so I'm pretty sure that that they were now are part of their countries, basketball teams and stuff like that. So and I ain't mad at them, So, but again, I just think this fine. I mean, you want to arm wrestle, go arm wrestle, man. I mean, it's
I
I
might
don't
need to
really.
start working out, working this arm out. The one I use with my cane, it's a little stronger than the other. So, who knows? Might see me on TV.
Okay. I mean, I don't know why that. I don't know. I ain't checked all that, but
I'm teasing, of course, Ed. Come on.
I'm just trying to figure it out. I mean, okay, I use my right arm for my cane, so does that mean my left arm is weaker? I mean,
No, I use both arms for my cane. It just depends on where I'm at in the situation.
okay, well,
Um,
you better than me because I can't. I mean, not saying I can't do it, but But then I've been known to in a couple of our. I know one year when we did our walk a mile thing, right?
mm-hmm.
And I was leading the group, on a walk, and they were, blindfolded with sleep
Right,
shades and stuff.
right.
I actually walked backwards
Wow.
because they couldn't hear me if I walked forward because
Forward,
I was in
okay.
front of them. So I turned around and walked backwards so that they could hear me when I was talking to them. But I was still able to use my cane pointing behind me,
Behind your
and
back, right.
and I was able to still guide my way to the corner that way,
Look at you. All right now.
So I mean, again, but I knew the area as well,
Okay.
so I was really familiar with the area, so all that stuff helps out. So, but anyway, let me get back up here so I can play these promos. Y'all excuse me because I'm working these buttons today by myself. For those that are listening in, Pedro's not with me today. So let me get here. Let me get down here. Here we go.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
June 21st, got a vibe so right. Come through the service and a day tonight. It's Blind United, yeah, we're bringing the flair. Crafts and colors floating in the air. Jewels that shine, lotion so smooth. Mosaics, baked goods, handmade grooves. You don't wanna miss this artful affair. Blind made magic, love everywhere. Jewel that shine, lotion so smooth. Mosaics, baked goods, handmade grooves. You don't wanna miss this artful affair. Blind made magic, love everywhere. You want a table, just 25 bucks. Bring your vision, your craft, your luck. Vendors welcome, come show your pride. Let your work shine, let your soul ride. It's more than a fair, it's a moment to share with a community that truly cares. So email us now, don't miss your spot. info@blindunited.org, we got a lot. Jewels that shine, lotion so smooth. Mosaics, baked goods, handmade grooves. You don't wanna miss this artful affair. Blind made magic, love everywhere. So come vibe with the crew, enjoy the day. Blind United has got it set our way. June 21st, bring your smile and light. Art and love, yeah, we'll shine so bright.
All right. Well, this crafting fair is a little over a month away, but there is a deadline that is less than a month away if you want to go there, being June the 10th to reserve your spot. So either way, I mean, if something you want to do, you got plenty of time to knit up a whole bunch of stuff or whatever it is you do for your craft, and get a good supply come in and come out and see how much of this stuff you can sell. You know what I'm saying? Make yourself a few extra dollars. You know what I'm saying? Get a little extra cash for your, your craft and, just doing something you like to do, So, but anyway, again, that is the cutoff is June the 10th, and the event will take place on Saturday, June 21st. There in Claremont for those that live here in Southern California, or maybe want to travel out here. But anyway, this next one is more also about competition, right? But this one has a new little twist on it. They want to try something new, but it's being recommended that it might not necessarily be good for them to try this stuff. Anyway, I know I'm leaving y'all in the dark. What the hell is he talking about? You're going to find out right now. I'll talk to you on the other side.
Today on Coffee Time, Racing Everest, the risky plan to summit in a week. Today, we explore a daring and controversial challenge on the world's tallest peak. For former military friends want to summit Mount Everest in just 7 days. Not 7 weeks, the standard time it takes to acclimate, but 1 single week. And their secret weapon? An anesthetic gas called xenon. Mount Everest rises more than 29,000 feet above sea level. That means oxygen levels drop to less than a third of what we breathe at sea level. Most climbers spend over a month acclimating in camps to avoid altitude sickness, a potentially deadly condition. But this team believes that xenon gas can trick their bodies into adapting faster, improving oxygen delivery and stamina. The plan has sparked excitement and concern. Xenon is a noble gas sometimes used in medicine as an anesthetic. But some believe it may help stimulate natural production of erythropoietin, or EPO, a hormone that increases red blood cell count and helps athletes perform better at high altitudes. It's also banned by the World Anti-Doping Agency. Medical experts are skeptical. High-altitude specialists warn that xenon may impair judgment or hide symptoms of altitude sickness, putting climbers in danger. In extreme conditions like Everest, even a small delay in reaction time can be deadly. Despite the risks, the 4 climbers say they are committed. They've trained for months and insist that their expedition is about pushing limits, not breaking rules. But the mountaineering world is watching carefully, especially as commercial expeditions and performance-enhancing technologies continue to blur the line between challenge and danger. If they succeed, it could change the way people climb Everest. If they fail, it might confirm that nature and altitude can't be rushed. Would you attempt this? Should there be limits to how fast or enhanced we climb the world's greatest peaks? Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, for me on this one, I mean, let me go here. I mean, people have been climbing that mountain, for over a century now, I would believe, or more, right? But there's always, okay, well, it took 2 weeks to get to the top. It took 3 weeks to get to the top, whatever, right? Now you're going to go and try to break that record by doing it in a week, but you're using a performance enhancing thing here. I mean, is that fair? Should your record count because you use a performance enhancement? I mean, I don't know. Not only that, I mean, let's go here. The unknowns, the risk to your health and all those other kind, like they were saying, I don't know if it's really worth it. But I mean, as far as the record books are concerned, I wouldn't let them, myself personally, I wouldn't give them a record because they're using, like, again, performance enhancement, substances, and they're not doing it, just on their body itself. You know what I'm saying? Their own physical ability. They're using something that's going to enhance their ability, and that's false. So why give them a record of a week when their next closest competitor used no enhancements, and it took them a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever the case may be. I don't know because I don't follow it. I don't know what the record is for climbing the mountain, but again, just like that's why there's banning on performance enhancements within professional sports. I mean, I hope ain't nobody trying to climb that mountain as an amateur. That wouldn't be a good move in my book. But anyway, what you think about it, Carol? I mean, is it cool to be able to use these performance enhancing drugs, or?
No, I mean, even in horse racing, if your horse is using some type of substance, it's banned. Those records don't count, along with, us humans where, athletes, they're banned. So why should an individual that's trying to climb a mountain have, just be able to go ahead without any type of consequences as well? I mean, I can remember, being younger. Hey, I loved hiking, when I went camping, but I never wanted to climb no mountain, but you already are dealing with a lot of other elements. Like you say, you got altitude, all of that stuff. It's going to drain your body, period. You're limited with your food and substances that you can drink, to just try to go into altitudes that your body is just not ready for. And now you're taking a substance that's supposed to get you up there faster. Oh no, I wouldn't even risk that. Your body is just going to be pushing itself even harder. So why even take that risk and then say, okay, I did this in this amount of time. So put it on paper, put it on record, and I'm the winner, but I cheated. To me, that's like cheating.
It is cheating, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah.
It is cheating. I mean, again, that doesn't make sense, again, because, again, it is a performance enhancing drug.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, I mean, I'm not a mountain climber. have tried to climb one of them rock walls.
Yeah, I've done that.
And
Inside though, inside.
well, I mean, I did it at a sports festival, and we were outdoors. But
Oh wow.
regardless, I mean, it was a rock wall. It was brought in for the event, right?
Okay.
And my point being, man, I use muscles I did not know I had.
Right.
I mean, I'm actually pretty proud of myself because I made it right to the top. If I'd have went, as they say, one more rung, one more step
Mm-hmm.
up, I could have touched the top.
Wow.
But I had worked my muscles, those muscles that I had to use that I didn't know I had. I mean, by the time I got to where I was, they were done. Oh no, partner, we ain't doing this no more without some more training. You know what I'm saying? Dude said, man, just once more, one more. You're going to make it. Man, I'm through. I'm done. And I leaned back on my harness and let them walk me
Let
back.
them pull you on down.
This ain't going to work, man. But again, so in that, you know what I'm saying? Let's just say, for instance, I had that, performance enhancement drug. Again, we're not talking about altitude at this point, but we're still talking about performance enhancement, right?
Right.
Now, if I'd have took something to, make me not feel those muscles, I probably could have went on up to the top. But again, I could have strained them muscles
Mm-hmm.
on beyond what their limit was, right?
Right.
So again, I just think these folks need to do a whole lot of training. They need to follow, whatever. I mean, my understanding is that, that there's you have to give your body not only on the way up, but also on the way back down, give your body time to adjust to the various oxygen levels at the various altitudes,
Mm-hmm.
so that you don't cause your body any harm. I mean, just like divers, when they go down, man, they can't just let go and go straight to the top. If they do, their lungs will explode.
Yeah, they've got to decompress and
They
compress.
got
You're
to
right.
decompress. I mean, again, you're in these different environments, man. So, you know, uh, on this one again, I would say, at least until there's been some study, some actual. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Maybe the maker of this anesthesia stuff, Xenon, whatever they call it,
Right.
maybe they're sponsoring this trip. Who knows?
And they're the guinea pigs.
And they're the guinea pig. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So, I mean, on that note, if you're willing to put your life on the line for these folks, go for it. That's what you signed up for. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
don't hold it against, everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, don't even hold it against them because you're the one that accepted the challenge.
Right. That's right.
So don't let your family come try to sue this company because you use their product to to see if you can get to the hill to the top of the summit faster.
In a week.
Yeah, and now your company, your family wants to sue this company for $100 million because you took the drug. No,
Right.
they don't work that way. So, but anyway, I mean I don't know. I'm just not into performance enhancement drugs. I mean, I pay attention to athletes and when they get accused of doing stuff like that, and I lose all respect for them.
Right. Right.
I mean, one of my favorite players from way back in the day. He was was it middle linebacker for the Raiders? Lyle and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he ended up dying because of the steroids.
Yeah, he did.
You know,
Yeah, he did.
But until I knew he was taking them steroids, I just thought, man, that is a bad dude. Now I'm finding out, oh no, he's been doing steroids. So it's all this performance enhancement stuff. That's why he's so bad.
Right.
I forget what was old boy from the San Francisco Giants?
Oh,
Uh,
I
uh,
Can't recall his
Barry
name.
somebody,
Oh,
wasn't
Barry
it?
Sanders? No, I'm not Barry
No,
Sanders. Good
I
God.
forget his name, but he had the record for home runs or something at one point or something.
Oh, yeah. Pete Rose?
No. That he's the one got busted for fixing the game.
Okay, fixing the game. Okay.
I can't remember.
I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name either. But again, over the years, there's
Sosa.
been. That's Sammy Sosa you
Sammy
talking about.
Sosa.
No, that's not Sammy. Sammy wasn't it. This guy was a big black guy. I can't remember his name. But anyway, again, it came out that that the vitamin pack, whatever that regimen that he was on actually contained steroids.
Wow.
And he was that just made it possible for him to hit that ball so hard. I mean, he had so many home runs because of that stuff. Again, I got all the respect in the world for him. You know what I'm saying? When they do it naturally,
Of course.
now in his defense, I mean, he did claim that he did not know that the regimen of vitamins and stuff that he was under were they had steroids in them. Well, hold on, dude. Why are you putting stuff in your body you don't know what you're putting in there?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
should have a nutritionist that tells you.
Right, you a pro athlete, man.
That's
you
right.
wouldn't, I mean, that's your bread and butter, baby.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you know that if you get caught doing something like this, just like an Olympic athlete, if you get caught using something that and performing enhancement, you out.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was that bicyclist that? Oh God, he used to win all of the time, and they found out that he was on a substance as well.
Well, now he's a woman.
No, that he wasn't a bicyclist. You're talking about Jenner. He wasn't a bicyclist.
He was. I thought he was the dude that won all of those Tour de France's and stuff.
No, was he?
Yeah.
No, I don't think that was him, Ed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not going to argue with you, but I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. I mean, when he got out of bicycling is, when he went and did his thing and, came out of the closet and then had his reconstruction.
Okay.
Bruce Jenner, that's him.
Bruce Jenner wasn't a bicyclist?
Yeah, he was a bicyclist. He is the one that won all of those Tour de France's that couldn't nobody beat.
What?
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank then. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I remember him, number one, because of all the Tour de France's.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember also his wife, I guess it was, somebody, I was big time into motorcycles and stuff like that.
Right. I like motorcycles too.
And they somebody, I think it was his wife or somebody, gifted him a chopper, and he appeared on American Chopper. They did an episode where they built Bruce Jenner a chopper.
Oh wow!
And that was still prior to his transition, right?
Okay.
And on the motorcycle, they actually had engravings in the motorcycle for every one of his Tour de France wins.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, again, I'm pretty sure that was him, Carol. I'm pretty sure that was him. So, anyway, let me get over here to these next promos. And then we'll get into this last article.
Okay.
Did you know Blind United offers free training in assistive technology? We call them interest groups. We offer training in JAWS, NVDA, iPhone, iPad, as well as Meta Ray-Bans. We also have groups like support group, cooking groups, and crafting groups. There are also groups for entertainment like movie night and RS game night. For more information about all the interest groups that we offer, just email us at info@blindunited.org or visit our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Group. We would love to have you be part of the Blind United crew.
Hustling jingles, $10 a shot. Birthday beats and holiday knocks. Gotcha covered for the ones you love. Personalized joy like a custom glove. Get your jingle hot and fresh. info@blindunited.org. $10 only, no more, no less. We make memories you can't afford. Got a catchy tune for your babe. Poppin' beats like dreams we crave. For Mama's Day or Papa's cheer, let's make smiles from ear to ear. Get your jingle hot and fresh. info@blindunited.org. $10 only, no more, no less. We make memories you can't afford.
Well, again, that jingles is something that we continue to do as a fundraiser for Blind United. So Mother's Day has passed, but we got plenty of birthdays and graduations and
Father's Day.
Father's Day. I mean, stub my toe day or whatever. It doesn't matter. We can create a jingle for you, right? So if you in the need for a jingle, info@blindunited.org, and I'll make sure I get the
You got to
link.
sing it, Ed.
No, I ain't doing all that.
info@blindunited.org.
And then bottom line, I'll get you a link to the form where you can fill that stuff out and the information where you Zelle your money, and we'll get that jingle created and right out to you. So anyway, this last article is, I don't know, you know who the Menendez brothers are, don't you, Carol?
Yes, I think the whole world does.
Okay, well.
Are they getting out?
Well, for those that did not know, they have been resentenced.
Oh,
So,
wow.
So their sentence has been modified. So let's check this out, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Today on Coffee Time, the Menendez brothers face a new future. Today, we revisit one of the most infamous trials in American history, the case of the Menendez brothers. More than 30 years after their conviction for murdering their parents, Lyle and Erik Menendez have been resentenced. Now, for the first time, they may have a chance at freedom. Back in 1989, the brothers were arrested after the brutal killings of their parents, Jose and Mary Louise Menendez, in their Beverly Hills mansion. The case gripped the nation. Two young men from a wealthy family, charged with a crime that seemed unthinkable. Their trials revealed explosive claims of long-term abuse by their father, and while some jurors were sympathetic, both brothers were eventually convicted and sentenced to life without parole. But now, in 2025, a judge has reduced their sentences to 50 years to life, making them eligible for parole. Why? Legal experts point to their ages at the time of the crime. Lyle was 21, Erik just 18, and to evolving understandings of trauma and rehabilitation. New evidence, including letters and testimony from family members, has strengthened their claims of abuse. The brothers have spent more than 3 decades behind bars. During that time, they have earned college degrees, mentored other inmates, and maintained close ties to supporters who believe their original sentencing was too harsh. A parole hearing is scheduled for June, and if granted, the final decision may rest with California Governor Gavin Newsom. Supporters argue they've paid their debt and grown as people. Critics still see the crime as premeditated and unforgivable. This case continues to stir public emotion, legal debate, and media attention. Are the Menendez brothers victims who deserve a second chance, or criminals who must remain behind bars? Now back to the coffee time crew for their thoughts.
Well, before we move on with this conversation, I stand corrected. My brother from Idaho, Daniel Solis, has informed me that the San Francisco Giants player was Barry Vaughn.
Barry Bond. Okay.
And the bicyclist was Lance
Lance
Armstrong.
Armstrong. Yes.
So I do stand corrected. I apologize. I told you I don't know everything. I just, I thought I was right, but evidently, at least I got Barry's name right. I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I couldn't work out his
I'm
last
like
name.
Sanders and Bond, Sosa, Pete Rose. I didn't know.
Yeah, you was all over
But
there,
I was in the right sport now.
Right. So, but anyway, I mean, again, now let's get into this with these brothers, right?
Right.
I mean, they've been in jail for 30 something years now. I mean, they were very, very young when they did it, young adults, mind you. But again, were they wrong? Was it premeditated? Yes. But at the same time, if all of the allegations are true about the abuse and all that kind of stuff, I mean, it kind of, gives you an understanding as to why, right? And my understanding, and this is nothing new, my understanding is that, and again, I'm not no expert, I'm not no lawyer, I wasn't in the courtroom when all this stuff went down, but my understanding is that they their attorneys tried to introduce this evidence back in the original trial about the abuse, and it was not allowed to be entered. But now, here we are 30 something years later. I know they've been trying to get this done for a couple of years now, but it's still 30 something years later. Now they're allowing that evidence in, so it sheds a whole lot of light on it. I mean, again, there was evidence came out that the father also had abused one of the members of the pop group. What was it,
Menudo.
Yeah, So I mean that's evidence right there that the father was, a predator. I'll just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, again, again, I don't want to say what I would do, but you don't never know what a person will do until they're faced with that situation. I mean, if you've grown up facing that abuse all your life, the molestations and all this other kind of stuff, at some point you're going to get tired, you know. So now, once you get tired, well, you got two choices. Either you're going to deal with it, or you got three choices. You're going to deal with it for the rest of your life and just let it be. You're going to go after the person that's, inflicting this on you, or you're going to do suicide, So, I mean, I definitely wouldn't want to see anybody commit suicide, and I don't want anybody to just, become a victim for the rest of their life. So I guess on that note, I'm kind of agreeing with, them doing what they did after dealing with all that kind of stuff. I mean, but anyway, we're going to find out. I mean, again, evidently they've been doing pretty good in prison because my understanding is now, my understanding is they're in the same prison. The last I heard, they're down in San Diego here. A prison is called R.J. Donovan, which is right on the right on the border. I mean, if they that physical, they could get up out of there and make a run for the border, and they wouldn't have far to go, and they'd be in a whole nother country. But
right.
But anyway, I mean, so they've been model, per se, prisoners, inmates, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the correct terminology is nowadays. All this PC talk, man, I get so tired of that stuff. But anyway, I mean, again, I'm pretty sure they have learned their lesson after 30 some odd years behind bars. I mean, Uh, so was life without? I mean, I think that was a knee jerk reaction, considering, the premeditation and, I mean, the way it was painted is, they did it all about the money and all this other kind of stuff, Uh, I don't know because you didn't allow this other evidence into the case back in the beginning. How do we know that the evidence that was produced was 100% true? I mean, you already discredited the case by not allowing certain evidence in. I mean, so uh, I don't think they'd be. I'm being honest. I just don't think they're going to be a threat to society if you let them out. I really don't. So, am I mad at them getting out? No, I'm really not. Plus, I'm keeping it 100. What has them getting out of prison got anything to do with my life with all this other stuff going on around in my life? You know what I'm saying? That's it's just something for the media to talk about. You know, talk about how they. Well, let me leave this alone. Let me not go down that street. I'm trying to stay off that boulevard today. So anyway, but anyway, Carol, what do you think? I mean, you think they served they time and paid their debt, or you think they need to stay locked up?
I mean, they were young, yes. Life without parole can be a harsh sentence for someone who's 18 and 21. Did they do it? I don't know. I mean, you named options, stay and deal with it. You know, Suicide, different options. But I think there's a fourth one as well. They could have left, you know. They were of age. So it had to have been about money. But, and then they were communicating with other individuals also. There are other people that are actually in the penal system that have life, that are serving life for attempted murder, not murder. And even though these individuals were wealthy, what they did was horrific if they did it. Uh, have they learned their lesson? Probably if they did it, or probably if they hadn't. I don't know. But should they be allowed to be free? I mean, they're not going to come after me. There's no way that I'll come in contact with these two gentlemen. But I don't know. Everyone else that's serving life, whether they did it or whether they didn't, cases are not being reevaluated, relooked at, and they're still on death row. So I don't know. I just kind of have a mixed bag about it. Um,
Right,
that's just, my take on it. I think just because of who they were, based on where they lived, who their parents are, that's why media is all over it. If it was just the average Joe that, like I say, didn't even kill but attempted to, um, you know, that wouldn't be publicized. No one knows about it, but it does exist. So
right,
I don't know. Honestly, Ed, if they get out, they get out. It's a lot of people that are incarcerated for stuff that they didn't do. And sometimes people fight and they finally get out after serving 30 years, have missed their
right.
whole life. So I don't know. I just kind of have a mixed bag feeling about it. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. And that's just the way I feel about it.
I mean, I agree, and I, you're right. I didn't consider the leaving option. So again, of course, they could have bounced. I mean, they could have bounced at any time. But like you said, at the age of the crime, uh, at their age at the time of the crime, they were legal adults. They could have
Mm-hmm.
bounced.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing anybody could have done about it.
that's right.
So I mean, that probably would have been their best option.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's the whole thing. I mean, they were, even though they were being abused or whatever, they lived in Beverly Hills and they were living used to that lifestyle and all of this and all of that. And they maybe in their head they say, oh well, he done took all of our, dignity away from us from doing this. I'm gonna take all his money away from him.
Right.
You know, I mean, you
Get him
don't
where it
know.
hurt.
Yeah,
In his
you don't.
pocket.
Yeah, so you don't really know what's going through a person's mind at that time. And
That's
like
right.
you said, if they get out, they get out. If they don't, they don't. It's not going to pay my rent. It's not going to buy my groceries. It's not going to do nothing to help me improve my life. It's not going to do anything to, make my life, any worse. So I mean, the only difference is if they stay in there, guess what? Taxpayers got to keep on paying
Keep
for them.
on
But
playing.
if we ain't paying for them, we'll be paying for two others. It doesn't matter.
That's true.
Where we got we got more people locked up in America than the rest of the world combined, if I remember right.
Yeah, you do remember right. That's true. And
So,
sad, really.
no, that's extremely sad. I
Mm.
mean, and then when you get here and you look, okay, well, we got our city jails, we got our county jails, and then we got our state prison. Then we also have our federal
Edible
prison.
prison.
And then in the mix in there, you got all of these private prison contractors that operate on all of those levels.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, again, being a capitalistic society, I mean, of course, they're going to try to make money on everything, including locking your ass up. You
You're
know,
right.
so
And the
I
lady
mean,
of justice, she's blindfolded. So where's the justice in that? She can't see a thing.
she can't see none of it, and probably don't really give a damn. You know what
Nope.
I'm saying? So,
Nope.
uh, hold on here.
Okay.
Okay, okay. Tisha says to release the Menendez brothers, and then she thinks Suge Knight is in Donovan.
Suge Knight?
Yeah, I think
T-shirt.
Suge is down there too. I guess.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, well, I mean, I know. Well, for those that didn't know, I was in Donovan, and actually my first time I ever went to prison. But if Sugar's down there, he might be on protective custody because there wasn't a blood yard there. It
Ooh.
was, and he is
Crip
clear.
City, huh?
It was all Crips when I was there,
Ooh.
So wasn't no bloods around.
Whoa.
It might not be a
A
very
safe
friendly
place for
environment
him.
for him. You know what I'm saying? But it is a level 3 prison. I do know that part. You
Right,
know,
right.
uh, they got four. Well, they got three level 3 yards, and then they have a reception yard, which is just like one of the level 3 yards. And then they got their minimum yard, which is where all of the workers that operate, doing the maintenance around the prison. That's where they all
Mm-hmm.
live. So, but again, hey, I don't know, Tisha. I didn't know old boy was down there. I thought he was somewhere else. But anyway, hey, tell all the folks down in Donovan I said, hey, if that's where he is. So, but anyway, on that note, it is at the end of our time here for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the little difference in pace today. A little something, not trying to be so political and, more general. Just things going on in the news. But anyway, like I said, if you into podcasting or whatever, come out and join us tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific time. I'm trying to get to this button. I'm sorry.
I know you are.
And then, and as always, in closing, like I said, please like, subscribe, follow, share, comment, whatever you can do on whatever platform you're watching us from. Please, do all of that. It really does help, and it doesn't cost you a dime. Just a little click. And then, like I said, it allows the algorithm to allow what we do here to get out to more and more people. The more clicks, likes, shares and all that kind of stuff we get, it just boosts us in the ratings and whatever, and allows more and more people to get to it. So, but anyway, that's it for us on this thrilling tamale Thursday or whatever we want to call it. And man, we'll see. We got one more day this week, Carol.
Yes, we
Friday.
do. We're almost there.
TGIF. So
yes, sir.
We will see everyone in the morning. Everybody enjoy the rest